So, Destined Rivals looks like it's bottoming. So, let's go through the data and why should you buy now? I'll go through it all today. So, reminder, guys, I'm still giving away the Destined Rivals Booster Bundle. So, that sounds good to you. Again, all you've got to do is put notifications on, do subscribe, and just drop any comment, favourite Pokemon, any questions for me. And yeah, we'll pick a winner next week. Let's go. So, Destined Rivals, again, it's the Scarlet and Violet generational set. We've been seeing some buy signals, so I want to go through that with you guys, and just why you should be paying attention, and ideally start to be loading up if you are looking to purchase some sets. So, again, from the highlights here, you've got some classics, Ho-Ho, Garchomp, Mewtwo. There's literally a card for everyone. So let's break it down. So again, just to go through some of the cards in the set. So again, you've got the top OG Mewtwo, Giovanni. You've got Cynthia, Garchomp, Ho-Ho, Ethan, Nidoking, Moltres, Misty, Psyduck. The list goes on. Again, I've gone through this set so many times on the channel. Meowth, Giovanni, Typhlosion's making an appearance, which is awesome. My favourite Pokemon, Cyndaquil, so I'm well happy there, including some sort of evolution for that. Yeah, give me a drop, guys, in the comments. What's your favourite Pokemon? We'll do some rips as well at some points. Again, if that all sounds good to you, again, yeah, do let me know. Yeah, so I'm going to go through some of the why I think we're bottoming. Yeah, why you should be sort of paying attention. So to begin, so again, you've got multiple different products. You've got again the main sort of peak is the booster box. So again, 36 packs, AG artwork, Mewtwo, Giovanni, Arbok. Again, Team Rocket set. The last Team Rocket set we got was EX Team Rocket Returns, which was a fantastic expansion. If you're not aware of the set, let me quickly show you. Super expensive. It's just I've had the chance, luckily, to hold this box. I've owned this box. I've owned cards in the set. It's a beautiful set, guys. Again, we had the EX Mewtwo, Snorlax, Entei, Mudkip, Torchic, Trico, the starters. It was just generational, and they've not touched Team Rocket since then. That was 2004, so 22 years later, we're finally seeing a rocket set, and surprisingly, we're seeing the biggest dumps on pretty much any main set, and it doesn't make sense. We've had in the UK we had a massive reprint a few months ago. That's why we're seeing obviously dumps over here. We're seeing again we're looking about £300 for a booster box. I've been scooped up left, right, and centre. Again, in the US with you guys and in Australia, 643 down to 541. Quite a substantial drop. Again, we're still up from the lows. 304 release, doubled in price. We've come down. So this is healthy behaviour. We're still up 77% from the lows. So there's no reason to get upset, to panic sell. Don't panic sell for the 30th, please. Do not do that. But yeah, booster box, we're still seeing some sales coming, which is awesome. But the main ticker for me, sort of why I think we're seeing the bottoming sort of process begin, is the ETB. So I've talked about this before. So basically, we've had this sort of step down effect. So again, we had the release at 282, drop down to 200. So again, that's a good 25% drop. Again, ladder, no one's buying, so we can only drop from there. And again, reprint, so 206 down to 169, and we're still dropping to 140. But just notice this, guys. As we're dropping, what's happening? We're seeing people buy more. And not a little bit more, a lot more. So we're seeing purchases from 36 items up to 348, 10 times the amount. 10 times the amount. That's accumulation. People are buying. They're anticipating the bottom is coming. They're purchasing. And where did we see this before? Prismatic evolutions. So again, when you see, like in the stock market, if you see a stock hit a certain price, and you see the buy pressure come in, people are buying at that price, it tends to be accumulation. And we're seeing this here when Prismatic dumped from 211 all the way down to 162. We started seeing those massive spikes in price. People anticipating the bottom was coming. And then from that point, we pumped up to 182. So it's a 15% pump. We got a few more reprints, and since then we've held that point, and we've not really seen many more reprints. We've seen like ancillary products, three packs and tins, but we haven't seen ETBs. And we're getting to the point where we're seeing the end of that cycle. So again, we're seeing that 2-year period end. And I think with Destined Rivals, again, we've got a bit more to go. I mean, Destined Rivals came out, I think, May last year. So we've got a good 10 months to go. But we've not really seen... We have seen reprints of booster boxes, but ETBs... There's rumours we are getting more sort of ETB reprints. But again, I think we're hitting that sort of plateau. That sort of bottoming sort of formation. So again, I'm not saying we've bottomed exactly now. We might still drop to 130, but I think we're coming to that point. So I've been buying some ETBs. I'm looking to purchase again if we hit 130, 120, 100. If we hit 100, I'm going to sell my wife, my family. I'm going all into yeah. And why wouldn't you? It's such an insane set. The single cards as well. They're going to do so well long time, and it's a generational set, guys. 2,100 value. It's just, and again, ripping as well is an exciting set. There's so many chase cards to pull. And again, you buy low, you sell high. You buy the discounts, especially dumping 20% on a set like this. It's got to be done. Has to be done. I've seen other PokeTubers talk about it. But I want to really sort of raise the roof and say, fucking go all in. All in. Not all in. If I had 100% allocation to certain products, 40% Destined Rivals, 20% Prismatic, 20% Ascended Heroes, 10% Black Bolt, and I'll probably put 10% and wait for the 30th anniversary. That's my split. We'll do that in another video. That's a good shout. We'll do like a pie chart split and what would I allocate my money to if I was to start again. But Destined Rivals is a big chunk of that pie. It has to be, especially the ETBs. They're such a discount, and they're not that expensive. £138, and if you're getting down to 130, 120 pounds, is about £90, 95. It's ridiculously cheap, guys. And again, it just reminds me of that Prismatic. When we hit that sort of certain price point and volume just went through the roof. We've got buyouts, people anticipating, and this will run up when the 30th is over and done with. When that hype is finished, Prismatic's going to pump. Apologies for that. Prismatic's going to pump. Destined's going to pump. Ascended's going to pump. Again, maybe some reprints of Ascended, but long term, it's just going straight. Let's look at a few singles. So again, to go through again the booster box, chase concentration is super low, which is awesome. Value is 10 out of 10. Gem rate is under 50%, still a bit high, but it's not too high. And the IP Team Rocket, come on, it's going to be such a good. Once supply dries up, it's going to be banging. But have a look at this. We're seeing supply drop. Right now with other sets, because of the 30th, we're seeing supply go up. Ascended's gone up. Prismatic's increased supply. Because people are dumping to get the 30th. They're not dumping Destined Rivals. Back in June we had 306 units. We're now down to 123. 60% drop in supply. And people are still buying. Back in June again, 30 units sold in that 7-day period. 26 sold this week. That's only 4 less, and the supply is half. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And again, if you go onto eBay, we'll take a quick look now. Yeah, we're seeing prices all over the shop. Again, I think this is based in all over the world. So let me just go to the UK a minute. Well, let's look at completed sales. Let's have a look. So what are we actually selling? All right, maybe not. I'll do that at another point. Sorry, guys. But you can see here we're seeing 26 sales. Last week 33, 38 the week before. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I hope I've made my point. You have to pay attention to it. Look at the artwork. But again, looking at the singles, sorry. So again, they're not really tanking, they're not dropping. Again, the gem pop 10 is huge. But again, the market's bigger than it was before. You know what I mean? We're not going to see those 100 gem 10s and sub 100s gem 10s or sub 200 gem 10s. They're going to be the highs, 15, 20,000. But if it's a popular enough card, it's going to sell. You know, we went from 583 release, a year ago, sorry, to 533. It's had that dip, it's pumped. Brilliant. 35% drawdown, that's fine. PSA 10's going for 1200 and 24, which is brilliant. Cynthia's Garchomp, again, the big chase cards, they're not tanking, they're going up. They're stabilizing. We had that massive pump from 193 to 290. Drawdown, it's going to pump again. But again, the pops are high, but they're popular cards. Down from 132 up to 175. This is healthy, guys. It's a healthy move. Moltres down from 87 to 107. Misty Psyduck down from 42 to 69. You get my point. We're going up. Singles are increasing. This helps with the sealed. It goes hand in hand. Craybat 58 up to 67. Then you know we're getting more unpopular now. So 21 up to 40. It's doubled in a year. Ethan's Typhlosion, least pop. You know, more or less popular. 21 up to 28. 20% pump. Team Rocket's Meowth got up from 17 to 28. People are buying the singles and they're holding. When the singles tend to appreciate, especially the chase card, the seal goes up. You know, the ETBs will increase. I hope I've made my point. Let me look at the prismatic. Sorry, not prismatic. The Pokemon Center ETBs. So again, it's more expensive, but we're seeing massive discounts. 560 down to 534, 10% drop. Again, it's not selling as much because it's more expensive. The bigger discounts are with the standard ETBs. I'm buying the standard ones just because you're seeing that massive drop. A huge drop in price. Yeah, again, I hope I've made my point, guys. Fantastic set. Singles are stabilizing, they're not crashing. We're seeing the buyouts from the ETBs. The booster box are still selling whilst the supply is dropping. It's a recipe for a big pump, and I think once the 30th is done, hold me to it. I think we're going to see a Destined Rivals dump. I'm going to expect. I'll do some price predictions. If you like that sort of content, we'll do a price prediction video next week. All right. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe. Your comments, your likes, your notifications on your subs. It just helps the channel grow. You know, we're giving away good products. We'll keep doing that. I've got Evolving Skies to give away. I've got so many good things to give to you guys. All right. So if that sounds good, you've enjoyed the content, stay tuned. More coming tomorrow. Take care, guys.